Hello and welcome. My name is Helene and I will be your guide today for this 15-minute grounding practice. I know how ungrounding and overwhelming it can be to be diagnosed with a disease such as cancer and how that can really feel like it just rips our foundation underneath from our feet and shakes up our entire world. And so I know that during my treatment, it was really important for me to do these grounding practices, to come back to stillness, to come back to my heart, and to remember the truth of my soul. And that no matter what is happening on the outside and what my body might be going through, that my soul remains intact and never broken. So my wish for you is that these practices that we're going to be practicing over these next series will help you to really remember that, to come back to the strength of the spirit, the unbreakable quality of our soul. So let's go ahead and begin by finding a comfortable cross-legged seat. So perhaps sitting up on a bolster or a cushion like I have here. We want our knees to be either in line with the hips or a little bit underneath the hips. And finding a nice straight spine. Relax the shoulders. Begin to gently close the eyes. And then from here, start to take your awareness inside, turning all of the senses inward now, and beginning to find that connection to the breath. And so how beautiful is this breath? That as long as we are alive, as long as this heart is beating, as long as we have this breath, we are still here. So as you begin to find this connection to the breath, start to practice gratitude for this breath. This breath that carries us throughout the day, throughout our lives, throughout all the seasons we go through. There is always this breath that we can come back to as our anchor. So begin to deepen the inhale, lengthen the exhales. And as you inhale, nice long inhale through the nose, imagine the energy going down into the root, into your pelvic floor. And as you exhale, send that energy back up into the heart. So inhale, feel the rooting and the grounding in the pelvic floor. And exhale, release and let it go, and send the energy back up into the heart space. And then find this beautiful dance of the breath, of the inhale and the exhale, and the merging of the two energies together. The energy from the root to the heart. Continue with the rhythm of your own breath. And then if it begins to feel seamless and effortless, we can try this breath with the mouth closed. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose only. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Again, sending the energy down into the pelvic floor. Feel the ground. Exhale, rooting down through the sits bones and feeling the energy release into the heart. And so begin to notice the relaxation that you may already feel just from tuning into the breath, just from this very simple pranayama, breath practice, breath work. Notice if the mind begins to wander and gently guide it back to the breath. Keep the focus on the inhale going into the root, into the pelvic floor, lengthening the spine. And the exhale, dropping into the sits bones and sending the energy up into the heart. There's no right or wrong way. Just find your own deep connection to your breath. And then we'll place one hand on our heart and one hand on the belly. Continuing to breathe in and out through the nose and feeling this connection now between the heart and the belly. And finding this compassion for yourself here. Where are you still being hard with yourself? Where can you soften? Where can you allow for space, for growth, for new life to enter? Which is really what this disease is asking of us. To simply come back to ourselves, to come back to our breath, to come back home. And then we'll release the hands and bring them back onto the knees. And then gently, ever so gently, begin to open the eyes and just stay in this internal space here. And we'll continue with some gentle movement. Just to remember that we are still here in this body. We're still alive. So let's move this precious vessel of ours on the inhale, reaching the arms up. Continue the pranayama, so as you inhale, sending the energy down into the root, and then exhale, the energy comes back up into the heart space. Good, again, inhale, the arms reach up. Draw the navel back. Exhale, release, ground down, let it go. Now gently coming off the bolster for a little bit of some spinal movement to release the spine, let go of any tension that we may be carrying here. And we'll just start with some gentle cat-cow. So inhale, rolling the shoulders back and gazing up towards the sky. Exhale, pressing into the hands. Roll the shoulders forward, tuck the chin in, look towards the navel. Good, now allow for some free flow movement to happen here. So just as I'm kind of moving as my body wants to move, tuning into the spine, close the eyes and begin to really come back into the body here. Continuing the breath, inhale and exhale through the nose. Now, as you close the eyes, tuning into the spine, notice where your body wants to move. And just allow for that movement, maybe coming to sit down onto the heels, clockwise and counterclockwise. And maybe continuing with cat-cow. Really the goal or the point of this movement is to simply unwind and allow for any tension to melt away. Our spine is like the messenger for the rest of our body, carries so much wisdom in there. So releasing any tension we feel, and imagine the energy going down from the palms of our hands into the earth. Good, so a few more breaths of this free flow movement. Unwinding, releasing. And then on your next exhale, come down into a child's pose so the toes touch. Bring the knees apart and melt the chest and forehead down towards the earth. Coming into this gesture of deep surrender and staying here. What is it that you can surrender to now? What is it that you can just give up now? And I know the term give up might sound a little scary or unsettling, especially when moving through such a challenge where we feel like we have to fight. But where can we give up the fight and just allow our body to heal? Allow for our hearts to soften and trust that if we just get out of the way, our body knows what to do. All we need to do is continue to love and respect and nurture this body and mind, this vessel. So notice if you feel some discomfort with this term of giving up, and just stay with that. And then see if you can find the liberation in that, of not having anything to do, but simply to be and come back to this softness, to this space of trust and surrender, and to listen to that voice that knows exactly what you need to do. Another inhale and then exhale, let it go. Maybe exhaling through the mouth. And on the next inhale, gently rise back up. Exhale here. Inhale, press into your left hand and reach your right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, take the right arm behind the left and drop your right ear down onto the floor. Allow yourself to melt into this posture, feeling the release in the right shoulder. And then inhale, pressing into the left hand to come back up. Exhale. Inhale, the left arm reaches straight up. Exhale, take the left arm now behind the right hand and left ear rests on the earth. Feeling the release in the left shoulder. And keeping the eyes closed just to stay in that internal awareness. On the next inhale, pressing into the hand, come back up, tabletop position. Exhale, come back into another child's pose. 2 deep and cleansing breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. This time, take the arms back. And feeling the nourishment in this posture. And slowly on your next inhale, rising back up. And then exhale, come to lie flat on your back into Shavasana pose. Now exhaling out through the mouth, letting everything go, dropping down into the ground. And start to observe the sensations moving through the body, the vibrations, the life force, the prana. And notice how you feel inside. Start to feel the body becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. Just letting go, full letting go, the deepest surrender in this pose. Notice how the simplest movements can bring us right back here to this space of stillness and softness and release. And then gently begin wiggling the toes and the fingers, bringing life back into the body. Coming back to this physical reality. Coming back with a warrior heart, a peaceful warrior heart, to face what needs to be faced with courage. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Stretch the legs, stretch the toes, as though you were just getting out of bed in the morning. Nice deep stretch here. Exhale, turn over to the right side into a fetal position. The head rests on the forearm. And inhale, keeping the eyes closed, gently pushing yourself back up. Coming back onto your bolster into a comfortable cross-legged seat. Place the hands down on the knees. And then placing the hands in prayer pose in front of the heart. Keeping a little space in between the palms and imagining there was a jewel there. Notice what color this jewel is. What shape, what size. And imagine this jewel as the golden nectar of your heart. That space that you always have access to, that you can always return to, just by tuning into the breath, by closing the eyes, and a few simple movements to come back into the body. May this practice serve you well and open your heart and bring you back to courage over and over again. Namaste.